Hello everybody, I'm DJ Glowing Ice, and these are some drinks from the 90s called Orbitz. Yes, they are the infamous drinks from the 90s that have little tiny balls inside of the drink itself. Now, what are these drinks exactly? Well, they are non-carbonated flavored water drinks with tiny little balls inside that are like gel balls, and they're flavored with some type of fruit flavoring. As you can see here, I will move and shake them around and just watch here. The balls will just stop and stay suspended after you shake it up a little bit. Look, I can move it right here and some will stay in the same spot. You know, it's nuts. So this is a full collection of the entire Orbitz drink line that ran from 1996, and they just disappeared off the face of the earth by 1998. Very short-lived drink. But first, we're going to take these two off, and we're just going to focus on these four right now. These four flavors are the flavors that first came out when the whole drink line was released. If you are looking for a more in-depth history about these drinks, I did make a documentary last year about it, which I'll put in the description below. So there was a company called Clearly Canadian, which made sparkling water flavored water drinks. This was the mid-90s. Sparkling water and bottled waters were just like taking off. They were becoming highly popular. And they were one of the big players in this whole market. So they decided to really go all out and make a line of drinks that had flavored balls inside of flavored water bottles. So during the mid-90s, 1994, 1995, Clearly Canadian started to develop and create this line of drinks. And it took $15 million to develop and produce Orbitz. They had to engineer and figure out a way to make all of these little balls inside this drink move and act the way they do. By September of 1995, they filed a trademark for the name Orbitz, its little logo here, and for its tagline, which reads, Defy Gravity. We are now in the middle of 1996, summer of 1996. And Orbitz started appearing on store shelves all across the United States and Canada. It became a really, really hot drink. It was shown in Rolling Stone magazine. It won awards. It was just everywhere. Like, you couldn't escape this weird drink that looked like it was in the shape of a lava lamp. Like, a lot of people just bought it just to keep it as a souvenir and not drink it. Some bought and drank it out of just pure curiosity. But a lot of people, majority of people, looked at this and thought, I don't want balls in my drink. And now, speaking of balls in drinks, how these balls actually are suspended and act the way they do is because the balls inside here are less denser than water. And the help of sugar and gellan gum also help these stay suspended and not just sink to the bottom or float to the top. The question is now, what were the flavors of the original lineup? Well, first off, we have Vanilla Orange, which it is the drink with orange balls inside it. And then next up, we've got the one with the yellow balls, which is Raspberry Citrus. And then we got the one with the dark red balls, which is the Blueberry Melon Strawberry flavor. And then last but not least, the one with the white balls inside is the Pineapple Banana Cherry Coconut. It's a lot of flavors going on in this drink. As these four flavors kicked off the Orbitz drink lineup, things were doing really well the first year. Everybody was picking it up, checking it out, and wow, this is cool, funky, whatever. But come 1997, the fad, the new hip thing, cooled off quick. People that originally bought it and drank it and, you know, thought it was neat, didn't come back for another. So from early to mid 1996, when they started production and released this drink, Up until mid-1997, or April, spring of 1997, clearly Canadians saw that they were having trouble. These weren't selling anymore, they were staying on the shelves, people were passing by it, and so they decided to kick in gear something new. These new things were in the form of two drinks. One was a reformulation of the pineapple banana cherry coconut drink, and the other was a brand new flavor. So Clearly Canadian released the Orbitz pineapple banana cherry coconut version with two different colored balls inside. One with the original white balls and one with some red balls. So this is the only Orbitz drink flavor that has two different colored balls inside of the drink. On top of adding two different flavor of balls inside of the drink, they also claimed that they improved the flavor of this one. And then they released their Hail Mary drink, the drink they thought that would possibly keep this whole ship afloat. And it came in the form of what they called a limited edition flavor, which was black currant berry, with the very, very special purple cap instead of the original silver cap. So with this drink being re-released as this, and this being a whole new flavor, all coming out in spring of 1997, summer, somewhere around there, they tried to hold on, but by the end of 1997, the ship was sinking. Nobody was buying Orbitz. They were all just staying on the shelves. So that's when Clearly Canadian decided to finally pull the plug on Orbitz. So 1998 rolls around. There were so many bottles made of this stuff that it was just trying to still be sold, even though it was discontinued in 1998. And throughout the year of 1998, it just slowly and slowly just started disappearing off of store shelves to the point where, yeah, by 1998, you couldn't find these anymore. Now, why did Orbitz fail? Well, there's a lot of speculation, a lot of theories, but the most concrete thing is just the fact that it was much like how Crystal Pepsi was originally. It was put out in production for about a year. People tried it once, and then they didn't come back again. You know, they just went back to what they were used to. They tried it out of curiosity. They're like, huh, that's neat. Okay, but I'm going to go with what I've been used to drinking for years and years. And that's what it was. Customers who bought it one time didn't come back to buy it again. This was the 90s. Even though the 90s was wacky and wild, there was still a lot of people that weren't getting hip to a lot of new things that were coming out. Orbitz was ahead of its time, and people in the 90s couldn't wrap their brains around it. Some people could, but the majority that Clearly Canadian was counting on these people buying didn't buy it. They looked at the drink, there was balls in it, and they didn't want balls in their drink. Simple as that. Another reason why it failed was its price. They were selling these at a premium, and for the amount that you got in a bottle for the price, it felt like a big ripoff, because if you compare a bottle of Orbitz, which is 10.1 ounces, to a 20-ounce bottle of Pepsi, there's no comparison. So with so many bottles being made and then just being stored away in warehouses because nobody bought them and they were just discontinued, these bottles started winding up on auction websites such as eBay. And that's how I wound up buying quite a few bottles. I actually have about 19 more bottles off screen here. But yeah, it's just something that is neat, and it's a drink that was very ahead of its time. And I think right now they really would have taken off, because now with people drinking bubble tea, boba tea, whatever with the balls in it, these would actually become a hit nowadays. And what I got here, I got an original Orbitz hat that you could buy online. They were selling off their stock. They were selling t-shirts and hats in 1998, just getting rid of it at a very low price. I found this on eBay as well. What did it actually taste like? Well, growing up in the 90s, I was a 90s kid, I took a swig of the bottle that my brother bought at the grocery store, and it tasted okay. It tasted just like some fruit flavored water. But, you know, it was hard to really try to get one of the balls in between your teeth and really try to chew on it. Because whenever you drink it, they would all just kind of flow down your throat along with the water itself. It was really hard to try to get one and bite down through it. And it's almost like if you've ever eaten tapioca pudding, all the little like gel orbs in there. It was kind of like that same kind of texture. But from what I remember, I mean, it tasted pretty good. It was an average, you know, just flavored water drink that had some flavored balls in it. That's about it. I will say, after doing way too much research into these, is that there was a rumored 6th flavor called Charlie Brown Chocolate, which was chocolate flavored water. Huh? I looked into it. I emailed Clearly Canadian. They looked through their records. They took their time, about 2 weeks, and got back to me, and they said there's nothing on record of a Charlie Brown chocolate. So if you hear that flavor being thrown around in a lot of videos or articles online, just know that it was just a rumor, and I took the due diligence of doing that and figuring it out. So yeah, Charlie Brown chocolate was never a flavor. It was made up somewhere, and it never existed. The only flavors that ever existed of Orbitz are these 5 flavors, and that is it. Well, thank you guys for watching this video as we took a trip down memory lane. One of my favorite times in my life, the 90s, the mid-90s especially. I really do wish Orbitz would come back, but knowing full well the capabilities of Clearly Canadian at the moment, it's not gonna happen. And no matter how much you beg and ask about it and you know, just bother them about it, they're gonna tell you time and time again, no, we don't have the machines, we can't do it. Buy the regular Clearly Canadian flavors if you want. Call it a day. Well, that about does it for this video. Thank you guys for watching as we took a look at Orbitz drinks from the 90s. The drink with balls. Lots of balls. I want balls in my drink all the time. So, yeah. Thank you guys for watching. Peace out.